Hi, I'm not dead, and my stomach's got more holes in it than the Rittenhouse defense. Theme song.
Jesse and Bob are two dudes on the job to brighten your day. Walk gabbing away on a pod. Forget your frown, let's see what's going down in Beachtown.
Sweet mother of pearl, heavens to Murgatroyd every which way from Sunday, heavens to Betsy. I fought the hernia robots, Jesse Egan, and the hernia robots won.
Oh man, it's good to have you back after all the hernia robots, man. I can't believe it. You survived. I want to hear all about it.
I'm going to tell you all about it, but first let's say hi to the listeners. You're listening to the Beachtown, the comedy podcast on Podomatic or YouTube. This is the mental health podcast, I'm talking to you, Daddy, the only mental health podcast that actually cheers you up. The rest of them make you sadder, and when you're not looking, they steal your wallet and kick you in the balls. But we, the Beachtown Comedy Podcast, we're the only ones to actually do its job. We are Jesse Egan and Bob. I am one of those guys. Jesse Egan, the man with the plan to master's ass with the Ayatollah of rock and roller. He turns more heads than a tennis match. Jesse, how's it hanging, my man?
It's hanging real low and lumpy. I had a bad morning, Bob. I woke up with a horrible calf pain. I haven't had like a Charlie horse like this since I was a kid. I couldn't even move. I was screaming in pain. Anna thought something was really wrong. She was like, "What is wrong with you?" And when was the last time you had one of those? You ever get those? I don't know if that's, what do you call it, a Charlie horse or a
I get them all the time. Yeah,
you get them all the time.
Wow. I'll get them. I'll just wake up. My legs will be all knotted up, and last Saturday I woke up with 5 extra holes in my stomach.
Yeah, that must be worse.
Now
that I can screaming, say, did you forget about them and wake up and go, my stomach?
50-50. Waking up in a different room was really weird because the guy. Okay, so let's start. Let's go back. Now let's do this. Usually we do our grapes, right? We are grapes. For those who don't know, let me see if I can tackle this.
Okay.
The acronym for grapes is G. We are gentle with oneself. We give you updates on these things every week. R is for relaxation. A is for accomplishments. P is for pleasure. E is for exercise. S is for social. And we do updates on all these things. Now, clearly, with my double hernia surgery and a torso that looks like Winona Ryder's bed in Edward Scissorhands, obviously all my grapes are not going to be in a line. My grapes have been sliced in half, and they sliced very close to my grapes. So quite frankly,
they almost punctured your grapes.
They almost punctured my grapes. So quite frankly, I don't know.
We could do one episode without grapes.
We ain't doctors. We ain't saviors. Now enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Why don't we shoot the shit for about? We'll shoot the shit. We'll chew the fat. We'll whistle Dixie. We'll wax philosophicals. We'll be rubbing elbows, greasing palms. Do some schmoozing, networking.
We won't waste any time.
Won't waste any time at all. We won't get too verbose because I don't like that. I get very upset with that. When people get
hands and kissing, what is it?
Kissing hands and shaking babies. When people get too verbose and waste time and talk for the sake of talking, I get flustered. I get bumfuzzled. I get very upset.
Flabbergasted.
I get flabbergasted. I get hoodwinked, flim-flam, shim-shammed, and bamboozled every time.
I get fuddruckered. Is that a thing?
It is now. We get fuddruckered. I get Applebee's. I get TGIF'd.
All the above.
And they told me to TGIF myself. So 8 days before we were recording this, I had my double hernia surgery. I had one umbilical surgery, my belly button, and which they told me was not the big deal. It turns out it's the way bigger deal. And then, pain wise, yeah, it sucks way worse. And the groin one, they didn't even cut my groin. They gave me I have a new groin, and I can't wait to test it out. If any of you already know where I live, if you want to come over and just kick me right in the groin, do it. And I'll stab you in my eyeballs, but they do it.
They gave you a brand new groin, huh?
A brand new solid metal groin. I don't know. There's no metal in the groin. That'd be hilarious. Oh my God, I wish they gave me a metal groin.
Iron Groin. It's a new Marvel Universe character.
I want a movie where I save the day will they blow me half the bits, which is what they did with the surgery, and then I come back as RoboCock, and that's my poor.
You do that, you know, the Iron Man landing when he flies out of the sky and like lands really hard.
Yeah.
You do that, but your legs are open and you rack yourself on a rock or something. It's like,
Yeah,
iron groin,
like a safety guard rail or something, just ching. And that's when you hear the noise. Whenever you hear, even if it happens off camera, and you just see a bad guy doing something bad because the bad guy, and then you just hear ching like that noise, kind of like the Law and Order noise.
Yeah.
Like you just know, Iron Groin is here.
I heard the clanging of the iron groin. What would your powers be? Just to be able to take it in the groin over and over again?
Just be able to absorb blows to the groin. That's why when I had my hernia girdle, which thankfully I don't have to wear anymore, it felt like a bulletproof vest for only my groin, like for when I stop the bad guy, theft, or drug dealer who only shoots people in the crotch. I am ready to take this guy.
Oh my gosh.
So they carved me up.
Twitter is going to be so different now. If you don't have a hernia girdle, how are you going to respond to people when they say, you know, life is all about turning things to your advantage? And Bob's like, I have to wear a hernia girdle for my hernia.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you asked me, Jesse. I'll tell you exactly why. I'm gonna keep doing that. Is what I've been doing in replacement is saying, you know, hey, life is about what you make it. You got to manifest your own blah 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 blah. I'm a hot chick, yada yada yada. And I reply, I just had a double hernia surgery and I'm in terrible pain, and then several crying emojis. And
good.
None of them have replied.
So that can last a little bit longer than.
Yeah. I'm milking this for all I can.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So
yeah.
Tell me about waking up in a new place with a punctured everything.
It sucks so hard. It sucks all of the balls. So I can't really stand up straight because I have this bandage. I have a gauze in my belly button where I guess there's a bunch of stitches probably. And they gave me this amazing tight bandage. So I actually haven't stood up straight. So what's been happening is, and you know me, I've got injury after injury after injury.
Yeah.
And I think when my PCP, my drugs, no, my primary care physician, when he said, do you have any have you ever had any muscular or bone injuries? And I told the biggest lie I've ever said to a doctor. I said no.
You just said no.
And then let me know my neck is twitching.
Your neck is literally broken, isn't it?
There's a fracture. Yeah. So yeah, who cares?
Doctor couldn't detect that.
No,
you ever had any injuries? Bob's like, nope, clean bill of health.
They're called X-rays, moron. Don't take my word for it. I clearly just want to get my hernia surgery so I can do more damage.
When they just take the chart, they just throw it out the window. Hi, I'm Dr. Word of Mouth. So, you had any problems?
Well, you know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombots.
Dr. Vinny Boombots.
I went to my doctor. I said, doctor, what am I supposed to do? I look in the mirror. I want to throw up. He says, I don't know, but your eyesight is perfect. Terrible doctor.
Oh, my God.
What do I do about these yellow teeth? He says, try a brown necktie. Yeah. My wife, let me tell you, Jesse Egan, my wife.
You got a wife?
I got a lot of wives. Yeah. My wife, she crashed a car the other day. She ran into a tree. I said, what happened? She goes, I don't know. I honked. A piece of work my wife is, man. She wants to have sex in the back seat of the car. Only problem is she wants me to drive. I got no respect. No respect.
Those are good Rodneys right there.
Oh, geez. So they carved me up from asshole to appetite. My God.
Wow. That's brutal, man.
So
did they have different doctors? Do they have like different robots or only one? Was it one hernia robot?
I never got to meet the robot.
Oh.
I got there. I got to the place. I took an Uber there, and thankfully I splurged for the single Uber and not the group because I don't need to be part of the group for this.
You're in a group Uber. One is a lady given birth. You got abdomen punctures.
Because it's a group Uber. Yeah, we all be going to the same place. So one lady's giving birth. Another guy's got a severed hand. And then I can't complain about my hernias. That's no fun.
Oh, no. Lady's in the car giving birth, like, oh, you just got to keep trying. And Bob's like, I've got a hernia girdle for my hernia.
Basically, yeah. Happens. So I'm in there. you're forced to watch. You're in a gown with no clothes, and they keep trying to give you a warm blanket. I'm like, thanks, but
Like it's pre-warmed? Like
yeah,
they
they give
heat
you
it
a
up for
heated
you?
blanket. They give you a heated blanket,
Oh,
which
like
is
an
nice.
electric
Then,
blanket, or just like they
no,
sat on
just
a
it's
blanket for a
no.
while?
He said with the phrase he used was fresh out of the oven, which I hope he didn't really have it in an oven.
Yeah.
But he just gave me a warm ass blanket. I'm like, all right, thanks, Andy. So I'm watching the television, and they have like the Sharp Memorial. Oh, another thing.
Yeah.
Never go to a surgeon where the name of the hospital is Sharp.
Well, I guess it's better than Dull Scalpel Memorial.
Yeah, I guess I suppose. Yeah, it's like, oh, come over here. You want some new ink done? Go to Prison Tattoo. Like, oh, God damn. That's like getting your produce at Walmart if they had any.
They don't sell it, right?
I don't think they do.
Their produce is just cheese.
Clearance cheese.
Yeah, totally. Wow.
People only buy it the day after Thanksgiving, trying to kill each other for it, even they don't even want it. So I'm watching the Sharp Memorial, like nature. They just have a channel of just like rivers and bullshit.
Rivers.
You just have to watch it for hours and everything else. And different nurses come and ask me different questions. And this hot European nurse had to clean my groin and stomach, which was hilarious. And she insisted that I put the weight. She insisted I put the heated blanket over my junk
while she cleaned.
I'm like, what? You never cleaned a guy with an erection before? I don't understand. No, it's not what happened. It's very funny though. That'd be very funny. But, you know, hey, sorry, who won the war? You know,
I don't know what war.
So I do this, and the nurses are talking to me, and you know, they're giving all the instructions. They got a needle in but they insert a needle for your pain thing, your anesthesia, your epidural. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I got a thing sticking out of my hand that they tape in there. The IV, that's the IV. That's sticking in me, and they wheel me in, and they put and the guy, of course, and I know they're trying to trick me. Like they treat you like you're like you have to give a dog its medicine wrapped in peanut butter or something. They're like, okay, we're gonna put this. It's just oxygen, just breathing in normally. And then we're gonna do the anesthesia just a bit, and then of course, like you're out in a half second because that was the anesthesia, probably.
Oh, the oxygen is.
Yeah. They give put a thing on you, and I guess the guy because I was never
breathe deep. It's laughing gas.
Exactly. I had a sore throat. I had trouble talking for the next 2 days because they put a breathing tube, and they told me, listen, you're gonna have a sore throat. You're gonna have trouble talking because there's a breathing tube in you, which thankfully I didn't deal with consciously.
Oh wow!
And that's
they put
the number
that in after you fall asleep.
Yes, and took it out before I woke up. But they also did this
tube, is it?
What?
That's not the only tube they put in, is it?
Oh, it is not. Oh, it's not. This was the number 2 invasive tube they put in you. But they had to tell me. That was the thing. And right before they go, they said, oh, yeah, by the way, don't worry about, you can go to the bathroom now if you want, but also we're going to put a catheter in. I go, hey, I didn't know this. I've had a catheter going from my elbow to my heart before.
Yeah.
But I did say to them, you're doing that. I literally, instead of asking a question to be nice, I just literally said, you're doing that after I'm out. Right. And they said, oh, yeah, very good. And then it was.
No, we do that after the surgery's over, just to do it.
We just do that. We did it during your COVID test.
Oh, no.
I had to get a COVID test, side note, 2 days before because you need a negative COVID test to have surgery, I guess. So I had to take one, do the drive up nose thing. And they make you put it in your own nose. They don't even put it in your, like, how do you know I'm not cheating? like they're trusting me to go up far enough. And I did, because I'm a man. But yeah, it's like, why do you trust me you're a nurse. Do this, nurse. Jesus Christ. This isn't Vaughn's. I'm not scanning my own broccoli. Fuck you. Do this.
Do they make you put your own catheter in later too? They're just like,
give it time. Give it time. There's going to be a rule. Especially after some European nurse complains. But yeah, so they took it out, thankfully, before I woke up. So I've actually never known the experience of the catheter in and out. But the rule is, they told me this so many times. I don't know why they kept reminding me. The rule is they won't let you leave the hospital until you pee.
Yeah, they even told me that. They called, when I called.
Well, you were parked outside. You didn't have to.
Yeah,
you're allowed to leave without
peeing until you pee, and I'm like, really? I'm
just picking up this guy. No,
okay, I don't have to go, but I will if you.
Security, close the gate. He hasn't peed yet.
Pee.
You sir, like I just got lost. I just drove this Uber group here with a pregnant lady and a guy with a hand, and a guy with a girl. Uh, so, uh, so they insist that you pee because sometimes you have problems. And the guy gave me they made me swallow a pill beforehand. This will help you pee later. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty good at peeing. I've peed like 3 times since I've been here. I didn't know I needed the help, but anyway. So I pee and it didn't hurt as bad because I was probably still under whatever pain medicine
doped up, yeah.
hospital. But later on the day, oh
boy.
my God, the Friday and half of Saturday, the pain of peeing. I was going so long without. I think I peed 3 times in a day and a half because it was the pain.
So painful.
It was worse than it burned. You'd think I dated like 3 New York female comedians. It was burning so bad. The pain was so much worse than any UTI or anyone's ever had. It wasn't even that kind of burn. It was a different kind of burn. It was a furious burn. And that was the first thing to get better, and then slowly everything else just keeps on hurting. And now
and
I
you
can
told me like you weren't using any painkillers either because they were hurting more. It was making it worse.
my painkillers are hurting my kidneys because I got a kidney issue of some sort that
you didn't tell the doctor about.
I did. I told the nurses that
yeah, my kidneys don't work. You think the painkillers will be fine? Is
that going to be a thing? And it was, yeah. I haven't taken a painkiller since Monday. Today's Saturday. So basically, I didn't get them till Saturday afternoon too.
I know.
So I had them Saturday, Sunday. So basically, for only 48 hours, I was on the painkillers and the stool softener too. Don't forget the stool softener. And thankfully, the wiener bruises from the catheter, bruises from the catheter, those are going away. So now that we understand my wiener, butthole, stomach, abdomen, hernia, groin situation.
Do we still have any listeners? Is anyone still paying attention at this point in the show, or did we lose everyone?
What was this? This is a mental health podcast. How does this help? This doesn't help a goddamn person.
It's a physical health podcast. If you guys have any butt, wiener, kidney, broken neck, abdomen, punctured calf, we haven't helped them with mental stuff yet, but
we're going to get there. Well, we can get there actually very shortly because I think I'm about done. But I do have great elbows. My elbows are pretty healthy. They crack.
Is that your G?
Yeah.
My G is I have healthy elbows.
Well, let's back up. But I have healthy elbows for me.
Yeah.
And for the average person, no, you probably have some. But they pop, but that's it. So fair enough.
Healthy popping elbows.
Yeah, they're like, I can't. Well, maybe I can do the robot if I can't.
That is sad though that you didn't get to meet the hernia robot.
I did not
get to see it.
No, they just put and I was really disappointed.
I wonder if it's a different robot for each hernia, or like if they work simultaneously and in tandem. Or
I don't think so actually, because here's why. So they didn't cut my groin, but I mean, I don't even care. Like I'm like. At this point, yes. Just who the fuck?
Now they can't cut it because it's iron groin.
Yeah, exactly. They can't get through, and also Superman can't see through my groin.
It's made of lead.
Made of lead.
Even though it's called iron groin,
they wouldn't put lead in your groin yet.
Very bad for your groin health.
I think they use they cut the hole in your belly button, LOL, and then they rolled down the mesh. So I think they. Through the stomach muscles is where he rolled down the mesh that is on. So I have 2 pieces of mesh in me. I don't know what the mesh is made of, plastic or some crap.
Does that stay in there forever or what?
Oh yeah. It's not metal.
You're a mesh man now.
I'm some part of me is not biodegradable. Yes.
So it's a permanent piece of mesh that stays in there and keeps your innards from protruding from the holes.
That's correct.
Oh, interesting.
I have, you know how sometimes you'll buy strawberries and they're in those like little green baggies?
Yeah, that's what's holding in your guts?
No, I just think they're really good. Yes, pretty much those are holding in my guts. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. So that's what they do in a hernia. They put a piece of like cheesecloth in there.
Yeah, I thought they were sewing the muscles back together or whatever, but no, they're not.
They were fixing stuff, but no, they're just like, no, we just put a garbage bag in there and shove it in. Stay.
Pretty much, yeah. And they have different holes, so the robot needs different points of access. So I got a hole here. Well, I can't really, but there's a hole here, hole there, hole in navel, and then whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucks.
Holy
It's
diver. That's crazy, man. How much recovery time do you think you'll have? Like, did they give you any estimate on before, I assume they give you enough painkillers to get through the worst part. Did they give you enough for a couple weeks, or like, I don't want your painkiller. I'm not asking how many painkillers you have. I don't care. I don't use, they make me very ill. My stomach gets sick.
Yeah, those are the worst. They don't do
They're very
that.
bad for you, but
That's why I don't like hospitals. Like this is just gonna hurt anyway. What's even the point of this?
no,
I don't
but I'm
even know.
curious how long they think
Well, I
before
have
you can stand properly. And
this Thursday is my follow-up appointment, and by then it'll be 13 days. So they say 2 weeks you gotta come back. So it'll be 13 days for the follow-up. And I'm assuming that's when they take the bandage off my stomach and the gauze out of my belly button.
okay.
And the stitches themselves, they're like they're not dissolvable, they're absolvable is the specific word they use. But basically I just like my holes and the glue that the dermabond, whatever they put over my holes, just leave it alone. And they don't really look like holes. They're kind of like big yellow. I mean, they're big because they're yellow because of the bruising, but they're purple and reddish marks and lumps, but they're not really like, they're not holes that you could poke in my stomach, but they were holes at one point. Yes.
Yeah. The robot.
They're glued they're essentially glued together holes. So there are piles of glue on my belly. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm getting through that, and then so obviously the grapes have not. The exercise, of course, no. That's the big one, of course. Relaxation's been rough through my R. I was sleeping 3 hours at a time for a bit,
Yeah,
and then some days I couldn't sleep, but there were other days I could only fall asleep on my couch because I was on my side, and I don't even know if that was better, but I needed back support because it's really even to toss and turn over, you need your core to do that.
Oh yeah.
So getting up, you don't think you're using your core. Like even if you don't have visible abs, people think having abs. No, everyone has abs. People think of 8-packs and 6-packs when they talk about abs. We all have abs, and we use them all the freaking time to do everything. Every time you sit up or sit in a chair, sit in a chair, stand up out of a chair, rolling out of bed, you're using so much abs, you have no idea.
Yeah.
And that's not really a workout. You can't, but you're using all of that shit, and you need some of it to be worth it.
I'm sure you notice it more once you get it punctured multiple times.
You get it punctured, and now your lower back is shot because you're walking hunched over because you can't stand up straight. So your lower back is doing all this overcompensating. Of course, my back's jacked up as it is, of course. So and then I only took the 1 day off from work for the surgery, so I had to go back. I'm sitting in this chair like all day. So Monday and Tuesday especially were brutal, absolutely brutal. That's from Tuesday. I signed out at 6 p.m. I slept for 12, 13 hours. Well, I didn't really sleep. Half of that, the middle part of that, I was just awake, but I was at least lying down. So I was just laying down, like this hurts, this hurts, this hurts for like 4 of those hours in the middle. And then I got back to sleep on a couch, like I said, when I was able to use the back of it to kind of knock myself up, even though my couch is really just 2 love seats smashed together. So there's always a gap in the middle after like the first 10 seconds. So like my hip is sliding downward, and I'm basically just slowly sinking into the couch, which is not great when all your innards have been worked. I can't even say shit's second cousin. I'm like shit's weird uncle third removed.
Oh my God.
I'm hurt, but I'm doing better today and yesterday, because yesterday for my social, I'll just go through my bits for the bit. My social yesterday was an easy one. I mean, that's an easy pick for this week.
Yeah.
The 3 of us, you, myself, and Anna, all went to get some delicious sushi.
That was very good.
And I thoroughly
enjoyed it. Quite a while to
it.
find a place that was open or that we could go to, but
we did okay.
We did okay, and it was great. It was fun getting out of the house and going somewhere different and having some sushi with you. That was fun.
It was a good time.
It was a good. That was a good S. That was probably your first S in a while, really.
Yeah.
That's
the thing when you work remotely and you live alone. Like a lot of my conversing is just typing away at bullshit with some people whose faces I don't know what they look like, and they're all getting. Everyone in my remote work group is getting all like buddy, and they're starting to slowly share pics of each other and stuff like that. And I'm just like, let's just keep the illusion alive.
Let's pretend we don't like each other. I don't remember if we talked about, because we haven't podcasted since like the 25th of December.
In a while, yeah.
So did we do anything for Halloween? Did you do anything for Halloween? Was that before? That was before the surgery?
The Halloween was before the surgery. I did not. I bought candy and then discovered that trick-or-treaters don't come to my apartment complex. So then I spent the remainder of the week eating candy.
Eating the candy. Yeah.
Like I had to. It was there to get fatter for my surgery. So I'm happy. So I'm really disappointed too, because with exercise, like I just wanted to be able, all I wanted to be able to do was take long walks. And I'm not really there yet. I got about a little bit on Thursday, but because really like being forced to not be able to lift any weight is, I was actually looking forward to that because I can just focus on just walk. I'm eating better. So just walk, 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 walk. That's all I wanted to do because I can't run anyway. Got no knees. So I just wanted to walk.
And is your pool there at the complex heated? Or
it is, but I can't, even if it was warm enough, and I'm sure it isn't. Actually, it's been warm lately. No, I'm not allowed to be submerged in any kind of water, or like I can take showers, but no submerging of any water with chlorine or salt or any just flat out fresh water. No submerging of water.
Until
I can't have any of that.
When does that last till?
Beats the hell out of me.
Okay.
But it doesn't really matter. I mean, for me, I'm not going to use the pool again until like June anyway with that. So I'm not really too worried about that.
I got you.
But still, yeah. But I'm showering normally, which is good. I can pick up my right leg, sort of. I can pick my knee up to waist height now on my right side, which I couldn't do recently. So it's coming, but I just wanted to be able, like, just let me take the weight off. I'm clearly, I can already tell on camera, I'm much more pale. I haven't been outside much. I'm extra white. I might be a little thinner in the face. The belly's fatter, or it might just be swollen. That's the thing. I keep thinking, I didn't eat for like 3 days. I'm like, why is my belly sticking out? It's probably swollen as all fuck. So I look like a big fat ass with a skinny face. But I did.
Think you'll be able to write any hernia related material once you get far enough away from the pain and discomfort of it? Like, is there any angles on there that you think will lead to jokes?
Yeah, because there's the robot, and they shaved my stomach for me, which cool. They did a great job. Did a better job than I ever do. Whenever I'm bumming myself down, they did a fantastic. I didn't even notice till like 2 days later. I'm like, because the chest hair was still out, and it wasn't. I don't even get too hairy, because I like to flex sometimes, but still, I'm like, oh, I didn't even notice. I'm like, they totally shaved my stomach for me. Like, how long was I out? They shaved my stomach, put a tube in my throat, put a tube in my wiener, cut me open every which way from Sunday. They slice and dice me like I'm the girl that turns into a cake in that Tom Petty video.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
I felt bad, man. When I picked you up, you were definitely out of it. They warned me. They were like, he's going to be pretty out of it. But you were still like giving me advice while you were doped up.
Was I?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. Cause I think I had a show that night or somewhere maybe. And I think you were like telling me, don't get tired. Just don't let them know you're tired. And you were so tired. Like you were about to fall. You're like, don't let them know you're tired.
Well, I didn't have to go on stage that day.
Yeah.
I was tired.
It was good advice, though. It definitely was.
I'll say, there you go. I want to ask you about that before we do. I think I quoted Han Solo, too, just to fuck with you.
That's right. I told Anna that. I was like, Bob got in the car, and he looked like he'd been tortured and hurt, and he just turned to me and said, they didn't even ask me any questions.
I called you Leia.
And he called me Leia. Leia. That was so funny. Yeah,
they didn't even ask me any questions.
She loved that reference. That was great.
I'm sure. Yeah, I thought it was. The only reason I even remembered to do that is I reminded myself for 5 days before the surgery, do that one, because it's not one that we do. We don't really do a lot of Star Wars things.
Yeah,
but I know you'll get it.
That's a perfect.
And it'll be out of nowhere, and you'll be like, "What the fuck, God damn it! I'm still doing it."
That was a really good one. I was amazed that you still had that in you, even. Post surgery. That's incredible. Wow. Well, that's a rough one to be going through, man.
It sure is.
Puts all the grapes to the side and makes you just deal with your health for a while. But
yes, I don't have any accomplishments or pleasure. I had some pleasure, but no accomplishments.
It's accomplishment just going in and getting that surgery done, and fighting through it and getting through all this with no painkillers. I mean, I was
so brave, Jesse Egan. How brave I was?
Very brave.
I was so brave that the city of San Diego county clerk has deemed this Thursday November
18th,
18th.
right?
This is
Yeah.
this is I'm not kidding. This is a shoot for the wrestling fans. This is real. This Thursday, November 18th, is Bob Hansen Day in the city of San Diego. How about that?
It's amazing.
That is real. Now, supposedly, there's a newscaster named Consumer Bob Hansen who helps people not get scammed and stuff. And he's taking the credit, and they're pretending online that this day was for him.
I don't think so.
Obviously, the city of San Diego knows that I just had a surgery. Bravely, I was brave. They know that I'm a regular at the Comedy Store La Jolla at 906 Pearl Street. Don't park at Vaughn's. They know that I'm a former Southern San Diego County Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion for 6 months in 2010. And also, the biggest one, they know that November 18th of last year, 1 year to the day, is the day I arrived to stay at your place, and I got back here in San Diego.
They're aware of all of those details.
They are clearly aware of all these things. Well, they have my name and my address and my social security number and my, I'm sure they know all my social media.
They know you beat the Moondogs.
They know thank you. I defeated the Moondogs. They know about my new iron groin. They know because I temporarily had Medi-Cal. I was registered that, which you do through the county. So it's no surprise to me that the city of San Diego was like, we are going to finally honor Bob Hansen this Thursday.
I'm not surprised either. But when you do your press conference and they get you there and they're asking you all the questions.
Yes, no one's contacted me yet, by the way.
But I'm sure they will. And when that happens and you're there to address the issues and they ask you straight up if you're a hero, do the Robert Downey Jr. thing. Just admit it. Just be like, you know what? I am Iron Groin. And then just sit down and eat a hamburger.
Yeah. Next to Nick Fury.
Mm-hmm. Or Rhodey or whoever it was.
I'll just go to the Hawaiian place down the street that I like and order some with the sexually attractive lady I want to have relations with for privates, and then get the teriyaki chicken with the rice and the salad, and have a meal with Nick Fury while he's smoking a cigarette, stopping old DOS computer systems from running down dinosaur parks. But you mentioned this.
Newman. That's a foreshadowing right there, Bob. That was a little bit of foreshadowing coming up later in the episode today. That's gonna relate to that. So
yes, it all ties
that
together.
In mind, fans. If we have anyone still listening, then just keep that in mind.
And think about my groin while you're at it.
Consider his groin and how it relates to the movie.
We are the mental health podcast that actually cheers people up, and I just want you to know. Yeah, we're doomed. The robots aren't.
Do people feel any cheerier? I mean, by comparison, in your own life, if you haven't had your abdomen multiply, like punctured and opened and inserted with mesh by robots, then maybe you feel good. Maybe things are good. Maybe this is by comparison we're making people mentally feel better. What do you think, Bob?
That was always my goal.
If we just describe our suffering, mostly yours.
Yes. My last week is basically like the first third of RoboCop, and then that's it.
It was hard to watch that part.
And then I don't turn into it because I wasn't a good thing previously. Now I'm just a robotic guy that collects He-Man figures. How cool is Castle Grayskull?
That is really cool.
It's reason to do that.
It looks awesome. And like when I came over the day, I said I'd never seen it like with the gate up like that. I always remember it with the drawbridge down, the mouth open.
Yeah.
I don't remember ever seeing it like with the big wooden door closed. I think it looks really cool. Both ways, obviously, but I just had never noticed that. Plus, I haven't seen one of those since I was a kid, but very cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely tremendous. I love it. I like just staring at it. When I had it in my I think my brother and I co-owned it when we were kids in 84-ish, 85. And I barely remember the thing. I don't think it's because I was really little. I think my mother hated it because it was in the living room and she just said it was ugly.
Yeah.
And she didn't like it in the living room. But I don't know, you have little kids, so who cares? But and I just remember like it not being around long. Like I think it went up to the attic like fairly quickly, whether we wanted to or not. I think she just hated the sight of that castle. I think us were two little kids, and we were lucky. We were, we all had our own rooms, and I'm just guessing because I really don't remember very well, but I'm imagining she wouldn't put it in either of the kids' one room, so we'll just put it, and then figured out quickly, I have this ugly thing in my living room, even though who comes over, but whatever.
I wonder if it's still up in that attic somewhere.
No, it's definitely not. We've long since moved out, so
Oh,
I'm sure it isn't. I would have grabbed it at some point, but who the hell knows? But hopefully, some poor kids got it. Is what I hope. I like to think it. I like to think it went there instead of the trash because that's a shame.
yeah.
But now I got my own again, and I love it, and I don't care. But my pleasure. And then I want to ask you a couple of questions about your grapes as well. But my final doodad for a little bit is I decided to get myself not just a handful of Christmas presents where I'll do a fun wrapping video on my own the Bob Squad YouTube channel. I got myself this is one of two surgery presents I just flat out got myself because I was grumpy.
Yeah.
I got my very own sound wave.
Nice.
Yeah, how cool
Hey,
is that?
we could have dueling sound waves now.
Yes.
Bring mine over. That's
Very
awesome.
similar. It's basically the same figure I got you, but it's like it came out like a year or two before, so it's based on a story. You can see he's purposely marked up and beat up.
He's all scratched up on the inside of his
Yeah.
cassette panel there, so that's by
Right.
design.
Yes, that's on purpose. So you can see his feet too. They
There's
stuff
like
him up.
battle
Because-
worn.
Yeah, basically it's an early Cybertronian war before they come to Earth, and they're all kind of low on energy and got their asses kicked. But
Right.
other than that, it's the same figure. I think I got you.
So
pretty
cool.
much.
Did you get either of the cassettes that go in, or is that next?
Well, the cassettes, unfortunately, they don't come with you have to buy them separately, and they were a little pricey, so I just didn't bother. But I will because I'm buying too many fucking toys. But for the moment, it's just really cool that he flips,
It's awesome.
and I love him. I absolutely love it. I love the sound wave here.
He's
The
a
other
great
one,
looking robot, and then he had such a cool voice too.
yeah, no one can imitate it, but it was a very cool electronic voice there. So I'm very so I just said hell with it because they were all going up in price.
Yeah.
So I was just watching that like every week. I'm like, oh, there's another few bucks, and I just went, screw it, I'm getting one.
One of the nicest things ever, was over at the place you showed me the toys that your friend had sent you, all the way from Ireland.
Well, no, this one was from Rhode Island. The
Rhode
pile I
Island?
sent you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. I mean, I was blown away by that. The generosity. What was your buddy's name in Rhode Island?
Carl from Rhode Island.
Carl, you're
or-
a good friend, man.
Yeah.
And,
No, he's true. He's
you watch
terrific.
the show. Shout out to you, buddy, because
I think he
that's
does.
just a nice thought. And yeah, for anyone that's out there, man, if you got a friend that you care about, sending them something like a nice gift out of nowhere. What a sweet thought. I just thought it was like amazing.
The only ones, he's such a cool guy. Yeah, he sent me some stuff. And you were referring also to Mark from Ireland, who
Mark from Ireland, yeah.
on 2 occasions sent me some awesome stuff. But the
It's
pile I
amazing,
showed you was from Carl in Rhode Island. One of the awesome figures he got me was this it's a reissue of one of the headmasters, where the reason they're called headmasters is his hard head, where I could take his head off, you see. I'm gonna be very careful here, but I know we're on camera. And hey, if you're listening on Podomatic, join us on YouTube. You can see some of this.
Join us on YouTube, and you can see these action
Um,
live.
there we go. So that's a little guy.
Oh, that's his head. It becomes a
That
little
turns
tiny
into his
robot?
head. Yeah, he transforms into his head.
Oh, so his head like can pop off and be its own thing.
Yeah, so his head is supposed to be a human in a robot suit.
Okay.
So the idea is that now we have a robot brain and a human brain firing away and shooting weapons and stuff. So they're supposed to be better that way.
Is that a transformer?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
He
cool.
becomes like a green tank, and he's got very cool G.I. Joe-ish green-brown colors too, which I dig.
Man, the cool crossover possibility there for
Exactly.
That's bitching. I love that.
Yeah, hardhead. He's very cool. That's one of the many things that Gogitron has handled, but Carl just so generously sent. So
that is amazing.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, just a week or two ago, he sent me an awesome package. The full fun boxing is on the Bob Squad YouTube channel. You can find it.
Yes, definitly watch that.
He was tremendous. But you mentioned this. I wanted to ask you in more detail because I was I had my own issues going on. I was leaking left and right. There were you had some shows. You headlined the Grand and Escondido, the Grand Comedy Club.
I did. That's the show that we were telling me don't be tired, or don't let them know you're tired, or whatever. And it was good advice, because I guess I forgot that, since you're working a 9 to 5, getting up at 7 or 8 in the morning and working, it's like being on a different schedule for a while. I didn't realize that by 10:30, like, I get tired. So it's like we had 2 shows, and the second one, you're starting to get a little tired. But so it was very good to like bring the energy. And I think it really helped too. I don't know how other people feel, but like I have found that when you're happier, it just helps me sell all the material, and having this new job has made me feel a little bit more secure and things like that. And I used to always think, if I can make it to a point in stand-up comedy where my comedy can pay the rent, that's a great goal to achieve. And I was trying to do that just with stand-up, in the year before the COVID hit, when I was touring with Vicky and headlining locally and doing things. I was trying to sort of do a show every night and try to make the rent with that,
Yeah.
which was difficult, very challenging. And you're trying to sell merch and push t-shirts and stickers at shows and things. And then when I got this job, it was like, it was like a light bulb moment of going, I did it. Okay, I got a job where I write jokes. It's sort of like comedy has led to this point where now, I can write scripts for these big corporations and they pay me to be funny. So different route than I expected, and I could still do stand up, but there's less pressure now. So I think it helps. That whole weekend, it was like, I just enjoyed it, and I think it went really, really well. And the early crowds were bigger, the late crowds were light, but they were very good crowds, very receptive. And I was doing like 40 minutes on all the shows, which I don't know if I got to 40, but I think I got to 36 or something on
Yeah. Well, stay as 40. You've already been paid, right?
I was paid, yeah.
Oh, so 36. Yeah, whatever.
No, I think I did 40 on most of the shows, but I think the
I think
first
you did
one,
45.
I think I did 35 on the first one, but then 40 on the others. But regardless, it was really, really fun. And it was just great because I wanted to headline that club for a while, and Wasserman gave me the shot. So that was cool. I think he had LA Comics cancel or something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what happened, but regardless, he gave me the headlining, and I loved it. So, but I don't
have that
think
moment
that anyone was upset. Like, everybody that left, was like, that was one of the best shows we've seen. It was really like, you felt good standing outside getting that kind of feedback. You felt like a real headliner.
That's awesome. I was very happy to see you get that the headline. I knew you were going back to Grand and Escondido. I didn't know until a day or two before that I didn't realize you were headlining, because you had mentioned you had mentioned weeks ago that like, I think I'll feature again in Grand soon. So I didn't make the connection until I just happened upon one of those flyers on the social media platforms, and thought, oh, God damn you! And again too, I wanted to be the feature for you when you headlined. I really did. I'm like, Jesus Christ,
that would have been great. And next time for sure. This time that we had Bajan on Friday.
Bajan's wonderful. Okay,
yeah.
I don't know Leo Flowers, but I know
Leo Flowers is
great praise. Yeah,
terrific human being and a really funny guy. So it was a great show. Both, all 4 shows were really strong. So yeah, I wish you'd been there, but I know you're recouping. I was thinking about you while I was up there.
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't got to worry about me. I'll live.
But we did a Comedy Store a couple times, I think, before your surgery. We had a couple.
I had to cancel 2 of them too. I had to cancel the night before because they put me on for and I'm not gonna do the night before.
Right.
And then I thought the following Thursday I'd be good, and I had to cancel this past Thursday, and I was pissed. I did not. But I knew, here's the problem, and you could hear it a little bit too. Now I'm getting better, even though I can't stand up straight, I can barely walk, and I can't get words out. My throat was still messed up, so
your voice was real messed up when I first picked you up. Like,
it was horrendous.
You could barely talk,
and it didn't really get much better until today or yesterday.
Yeah,
which I knew that, but I was glad though, because I would have to sell the joke.
It was perfect for the joke.
Yeah, but then you got to deal with it forever. But so I noticed too when I was recording my podcast, The Hardest Part of the Ring, wrestling podcast, and I squeezed in a fun boxing that Sunday too, barely.
Oh wow!
Some of the stuff that Carl gave me, yeah. Still, I noticed when I was recording that my throat got dry really fast, and I couldn't. My end words would trail off, and the best sets you have really ever, but so especially in La Jolla, are the ones where your voice is going to project. Yeah. They can hear everything. I couldn't project in conversation, let alone the microphone ain't going to do shit for me because I can't.
Well, I mean, it was just kind of surprising that you would be even on the list for the day after your hernia surgery. Like,
Yeah,
But you never know what day he's going to give you when you submit. So
that's the thing. Yeah, I'm just like, oh shit. God, I hated missing it because if it happened, yeah, I don't even know. I hope I'm on this Thursday. Probably not, but because this Thursday is Bob Hansen Day, so what perfect day.
I know you should let Mike know if he doesn't already.
I did. No, I did, but I haven't heard.
Yeah.
But
Put it up on the marquee.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I love that.
So are we officially doing grapes or are we not doing grapes? I don't think.
Well, I think we're doing a loose grapes.
Sort of a loose grape.
We're doing soft grapes. Yes.
Soft grapes, sort of like a mash, like a jelly, like a grape jam.
Yeah,
sort of
we're doing a grapes jam.
A grapes jam. So yeah, I don't really have much for G, but R.A. Let's see, where are we at? A accomplishment, I guess. Yeah, we danced around. I had a cool experience. This past week, I got to play a wolf in an ad.
Yeah, I saw a photograph.
So while I was in Vegas, a month or two ago, I got this email from the marketing agency saying, "Hey, do you want to audition for this role? We thought you would fit it. I guess they're looking for a hairy wolf-like character." So I just filmed it on the phone, and it was like, little pig, let me in, and I sent it in, and I got the part. So then I spent the whole day a few days ago filming it, and they put me in this wolf costume where I had wolf ears, big wolf paws, and wolf feet, and I'm knocking, and it was a really fun experience. I had to do the whole thing without glasses, so I couldn't really see anything. And I also think my eyes look weird without glasses. Like my eyes are not even. They're like,
they look weird to you because we don't see them, but
right. But then like when I can't see and the director's like, do it more like this, and I'm like what? Like what are you like? Can I
like squinting?
Tell me again. How?
Squinting.
So it's hard to take direction when you can't see the director, and they're like, that was good, but can you do it a little more? I'm like, what? But it was a really fun experience, and I hope I get to do more of those. I just think it really was such a different experience than my normal 9 to 5 of writing scripts at home. It's like part of that whole job could be this too, of like going in and filming these crazy things for ads, and hopefully the client will like it and use it. The last one I did was years ago for a back shaver thing where I got to play the Batman. So I was kind of like a Batman character who I shave lives. And unfortunately, like for whatever reason, that one never came out, but they still have a little piece of it that shows up in the sizzle reel for the marketing company that I work for. That so it shows like me coming out of an alley with like the mist and fog, and it's very, very cool. So I think it's a neat thing just for like your own reel or your own experience to be like, oh, I was in this ad or whatever. And of course, that's how James Schrader got his big break, was by being
James Schrader does the soap for the balls, and our friend Sultan does the shaving for the balls.
Yeah, he does a lot of ball stuff, and it's really been
maybe the problems are friends.
Yeah, we need more.
Our friends just like balls.
Yeah, well, hey, look, I never knew that the path to success was right through your groin, but you knew it. Your iron groin.
I got an iron groin now. You can't. I could write on my groin. I could just use it as a writing pad. Like, hold on. When someone says hold on, they write, put a piece of paper on the other guy's back. They do that. I'm like, hang on.
Use my balls. Oh, that looked painful.
That sucked ass. Never do again.
Yeah. So that was a fun experience. Halloween for Anna and I, we just dressed up. We were dressed up as Loki and Sylvie. We had the kids from next door come over. Anna had brought back a caramel apple from Disneyland, where we went to Disneyland like the day before, and we had just a terrific time. I don't know if you've been to Disneyland out here, Bob, but we should go together because are you into that kind of thing at all? It was really, it's like my favorite thing. I think it's my favorite. I can
maybe be sold. Be sold.
We went on this ride, the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs ride. I'd never been on before, and all those classic rides are very short, but they've redone them, so they're really brilliant. I've been dreaming about the Snow White ride ever since we went on it. But my favorite ride is definitely the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like so incredible. It's you go underground in this like cavernous thing. Yeah. And recently Anna bought a candle from some fancy candle place where they were selling it as, oh, that's the Disney candle. And She's like, what do you mean? And they're like, it smells like Pirates of the Caribbean. And I was like, what? And because it says on the label like driftwood and whatever. You burn the candle, it smells like apples and perfume. It doesn't smell anything like the Pirates of the Caribbean ride.
Yeah,
But I think that's probably a good thing. I don't think you want a candle that smells like Pirates of the Caribbean.
I certainly don't. I was gonna say, what does it taste like? Rum and piss? I smell like there's
It
the
smells
weirdest
like
part.
Johnny Depp.
I was just gonna say the weirdest part of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride since they've redone it is everyone goes on this one part of the ride and pretends that Johnny Depp hit them.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go. There we go. I'll be here all week. No, I won't. You can replay this whenever you want.
So I mean, that's pleasure. Really, was Disneyland. Absolutely,
That sounds tremendous.
so much fun, and really that was my exercise for that week, because when you walk around Disneyland for 12 hours, my back and my feet were sore for like 2 days. Like my lower back gets really sore from like walking on the concrete like for hours on end. But we're talking about trying to go for like a longer period of time, like at some point maybe get a hotel and go for 2 days or something.
See, that might tickle my taint a little bit more than even just going for a day and coming back.
Yeah.
And it's hard to tickle my taint because it's made of steel now.
I know. Well, exactly. It's tickle proof. But that would be fun. And actually, Anna talked about that like years ago, that her family had gone, I think, to Florida and like stayed at the resort there, and you can like take the tram. They have like a monorail that takes you like from your hotel into the park, and you get to go in an hour early and go on the rides before it's really crazy in there, and just sounds amazing. And the one in Florida, has Epcot Center. It's got a water park. It's got all kinds of stuff. So, but even the one here, it's like connected to California Adventure. So I think the hotel is in California Adventure, which I've never been to before. But she's telling me like, because it's so hard for me, if we go there, like I just want to go to Disneyland, but California Adventure is right across from it, and they have all this new Marvel stuff. They, and I'm a Marvel lunatic, and they have like, the Tower of Terror is now the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. They've got an animatronic like robot Spider-Man swinging throughout the park.
Oh shit, you gotta see that. Yeah,
I gotta see it, but
I gotta see it too.
I love Disneyland so much that it's just prevented me from ever being able to just like go off into.
So you need a weekend where you can get a little adventure time.
Try both. Yeah. Get a park hopper pass and then do both things. I really want to do that. But
for our international listeners, California is on the west coast of the United States of America. I've never heard of Adventureland before.
I think it's called California Adventure. And it's sort of like an extended, like it was a lot of stuff about California, but now they've thrown in all this other Marvel stuff. Everything I think that they can't fit into Disneyland goes over to California Adventure. But apparently they have some really cool rides. The one that Anna tells me I would love the most is one where it's like a flight. You feel like you're flying. It's some sort of flying over California ride. And it's one of these rides that's like 4D. So like the ride moves, the thing looks like you're immersed in it, and then there's like wind and smells of orange groves and like all kinds of things that add to this like fully 4D kind of experience. So I really want to do that.
It's a lot of D's.
It's a lot of D's. Yeah,
it's so many D's.
Got to get that D.
Got it.
I think that's really it for my grapes. I did a couple of shows that were good at the Comedy Store and the Grand. Other than that, it was just worried about my boy with his hernia.
I know. God damn it. It's here's what's frustrating for me on a few levels is that I can't sleep unless I exercise. So and also you can't sleep when you're in agonizing pain. So combine the two, I'm agitated. The recovery's going way slower than I thought it was going to be. Super agitated. And there's another concern.
That CBD stuff. Maybe the CBD would help you sleep.
I might have to get into the CB. I might have to get into the CB4D. And just think that I'm Spider-Man while I'm recovering. But my other concern, which is probably the most superficial of my concerns, but still the one that's on my mind the most, I'm worried that when I come back to stand up, probably sooner than later, I'm sure.
That one of those high kicks is going to open up your.
No, actually, I just started using my left leg anyway in the last couple of months. So now, like I used to always use my right and throw it out there like a crazy man. But now
I know that you probably are not aware of this, but stand-up comedy can be performed without high kicks.
Who wants to see that? And the pounds too, all the boom, the boom.
All the
boom.
chest pounding too. That's more of a
Yeah.
wrestling thing. So I'm
Yeah,
sure
but no.
the
See,
audience
I don't
will
agree.
accept your jokes without it.
I don't agree. Bob
Bob needs to beat on himself on stage.
That's not the full Bob experience if you don't do it. Bob needs to do that because otherwise he's not being Bob. It's the whole package. It's like, what
Like,
if Hulk Hogan comes to the ring
yeah,
and he rips the shirt and then he flexes but doesn't do the ear thing where he puts
Yeah.
his hand to his ear? People are going to say, why the fuck didn't he do the ear thing? If he does the ear
like,
thing,
he can do the ear thing without opening up his abdomen wounds, you know?
at his age, no.
Probably not.
No,
It's a little less risky, you know, to do the I am a real than to do high kicks and pounding, you know.
It doesn't work. At this point, if Bob doesn't do that, it doesn't work. We don't have it. We don't have the whole thing. We have a guy doing.
Can't you work the kicks into the fact that you had hernia surgery and be like, I usually do high kicks, but I just had a hernia surgery. So that might be funny of like you doing like the most pathetic little like tiny kicks.
Yeah. No, it's got to be.
They know that it's a bit, and they also know that you've hurt yourself and like you had surgery, but you also can't resist kicking.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to sell. That's a lot of information to get through, and no one's. That's funny if you know me. How much
do you think you have to hurt yourself for this art? I mean,
a lot.
You've done it
so much.
You've already done that. You've put yourself through this to where your kidneys are broken and your neck is broken and everything's broken for entertainment purposes for others.
Yes, I have. Yes.
I think you've done enough. I think you've sacrificed enough. I think at this point,
but if I don't go further, then what was it all for? Like, you have to finish the job.
Kill yourself on stage.
You have to
finish the job. You're like do a body slam of yourself, maybe a suplex of your own neck into the crowd.
I can't let the city give me a day and then and then just phone it in after the city gives me my own day. Like, what a letdown that is. Now I've been built up, and that's the pressure too. That's what bothered me for 48 hours. The pressure too.
Did you discuss this with your doctor? Did you tell him, hey doc, how soon before I can do ridiculous high kicks like David Lee Roth on stage?
It didn't come up. It didn't come up. He was so excited telling me about the robots that I just couldn't get a word in. He was so happy that he was going to play with the robot.
You should ask him if you can borrow one of those robots and they can come on stage with you and do the kicks for you.
And can we get the two hernia robots to fight like I'm Hugh Jackman in a bad movie that he must have done as a favor?
You have to change your sex robots joke.
I know. Oh God,
these two hernia robots. It's not what you think. I just watch them perform hernia surgery on each other.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do on stage now. It's because I've built it up to a point where this is what Bob does, and that is how you steal shows. You don't steal shows. Fucking move my life. My ex-girlfriend was dumb once. Who gives a fuck? Fuck you. No one wants to hear that.
I try to do similar attention grabbing by screaming at the crowd, and I think you could try that for at least in the interim while you're healing. Just try screaming at them. I mean, works for your boy.
The smartest thing I ever did in the last 2 years with stand-up was I started doing the pounds on the way to the stage.
Yeah.
It's already getting attention.
You could scream on the way. You could scream on the way to the stage.
I could. I don't scream. I mean, I yell the first several minutes of the jokey jokes, but I'm not a screamer.
I don't scream either, but
yeah.
Holler.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I need to be in best possible condition. And Bob, even though obviously I need to lose the weight.
Physical aspect to your performance.
Very physical, and that's all that's what I had. That was my thing.
Yeah.
Because other than that, what else do I have?
You have jokes that you've crafted over 15 years that are great.
Yeah, and
that's what you have. The kicks and the punches don't matter. You don't need those.
They matter.
To do the
joke. No one
jokes.
knows me as a guy with jokes. They know me as the guy with the speed stuff and the kicks and the punches.
They don't know any of us at all.
No one's gotten by. No one in comedy in the last 10 years has gotten anywhere from good jokes. It's true. Sorry, but
I can't argue with that.
sorry, guys.
Maybe this is the time
No
where
one cares
Bob
about the jokes
Hansen
anymore.
becomes the newest TikTok star from home. You don't have to do punches or kicks. You just every day post some fun boxing or some toy stuff.
Oh,
I mean, I could see you being the next Danhausen on TikTok.
thank you. I love Danhausen.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate that. Where's my guy?
Did
That's what I
Danhausen,
love.
does he do stuff on TikTok?
No, probably he does. I think he does.
Probably.
Patreonism, the little Danhausen.
Well, I feel like you could take a page out of his book and paint your face and get on TikTok.
I won't. If I paint my face, knowing I'm a Danhausen fan, that's total gimmick infringement. So I can't do that.
Yeah,
but he broke his leg.
Yeah, it's not like his
Halloween.
face paint is based on anyone else's face paint, right? He doesn't look exactly like one of the guys from Kiss or anything.
He's heard that. He actually admits what he actually is intending to rip off was whatever the villain is in Exorcist 2. There's a demon called Pazuzu, and he uses that. So that's actually what he says he's ripping off.
Can I see the figure again? I think he's actually ripping off the character Lobo, who was a comic book character who had
that a DC guy?
Almost exact face paint Lobo.
I don't know anything about Lobo. Who
okay.
Lobo is, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying is nothing's original anymore. You could, I mean,
it's almost Jesse Egan. It's almost like I'm feeling like a dinosaur at this stage of the game.
Like a dinosaur. Well, here I gotta show you really quick.
I was trying to segue so hard into he gave me nothing.
Let me see. I know I didn't. I gave you nothing. I just wanted to very quickly show you what Lobo looks like. I know this isn't.
Danhausen broke his leg on Halloween. I didn't tell you that because.
Is that right?
Yeah, it sucks ass. And the thing is, he's more popular and he's selling more merch than ever. And he's in a wheelchair.
Maybe that's the key. Can you see that face?
I'm not pretty. Oh, okay. He's the guy. He always says my main man, like I'm the main man. Yeah. Okay, I've seen this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Lobo. I mean,
okay, he's got a
now
beard.
put the figure up.
I don't see it. Where is it? There it is.
No, you don't see that.
I mean, Lobo's got the facial hair and the thing, and
how about the eye makeup? How about the exact?
Well, let me explain something about Danhausen. Every time he's accused of wearing makeup, he says some, but only a little red under the eyes for color. So, I don't know the answer there, but be that as it may.
Be that as it may, you could be the next Danhausen ripoff.
I get jealous when I watch Danhausen, and he's my favorite guy, and I get jealous because I'm like, I feel like that should have been my career.
Yeah,
and he's doing a wonderful job.
He's doing a terrific job, and he's doing it. He's doing it his way. I think you could definitely do something similar, right? Just keep doing what you love.
It my way. No one was beating themselves up on stage and making all this chaos and energy and emotion, but nobody was doing that. I feel like I wasn't doing it my way.
Yeah.
My way got kicked in the dick, and then the robots ripped it apart.
Maybe your way is a little too self-destructive then. Maybe we need to adjust your way.
Maybe. Who's to say? Well, you are. I guess you said it.
But anyway, for the listeners out there that I don't know if we've helped them at all. We've gone through a loose grapes. We did definitely social and accomplishment and relaxation and pleasure and things.
Love us on Podomatic.
If you guys though need help with your mental health, I didn't give a disclaimer at the top of the show, but we're not qualified to help you.
Oh, they know.
Definitely make sure you go seek professional help. Get a therapist, counselor. Talk to somebody that knows what's up. And then also in the interim, like I don't know why I keep using that word interim, but try the grapes thing, which is tracking through the day. Anna's been doing it a little bit too, of like doing these different things to make yourself feel a little bit better. And it's hard to do when you're laid up and injured, as Bob is seeing. It makes you sadder when you can't do anything social with people or interact or do exercise. So it's a bummer. So this is a good lesson for people watching that if you're active and have the ability to get out there and live your life, you got to do it. It'll make you happier. Wallowing just makes it worse. But I think, Bob, it might be the time of the day where we come to my favorite part of the podcast, which is at the theater.
Popcorn and previews, movies and reviews at the theater. at the theater.
And we are back, Jesse Egan. We
Hey
are
now.
talking about the 1993 monster-sized blockbuster Jurassic Park.
Love it. Love it.
Laura, nobody wants to have babies with Laura Dern. And let me know when we're recording.
Okay, now we're gonna probably, and we're starting now. Okay.
Starting now. Okay, we're talking about Jurassic Park.
I wasn't sure which one you were. I thought you'd be. That's a giant pile of shit. Now about Jurassic Park. You know, I wasn't sure.
Oh, yeah. No, I went the other way with it.
Yeah.
It'll teach me a lesson.
Well, Laura Dern had a weird part in a Marvel movie recently.
Did she?
I think she played like a blue alien in Miss Marvel or one of those movie Captain Marvel.
That's kind of arousing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was that the response you were expecting or no?
not really.
Okay, I apologize.
Tell me about Jurassic Park 1.
Jurassic Park lost.
Yeah,
Was an old silly joke. I'm just going to trail off like a motherfucker. Was it Fiber 1 and then it should be like Butthole 0?
yes, I remember that.
Yeah, it was very childish. Very childish. Childish. Okay.
We had some bad diarrhea jokes back then.
We would go to Vaughn's and make fun of the food. It was like, what was the thing with the pickles? There was something with the pickles that was
Oh
wrong.
yeah, there was they had like baby spears and
Yeah.
other kind of weird pickle names that were like Vlasic salty baby spears or something.
Oh, was it the dill holes? Or did that
Dill
make us
holes.
laugh?
Yeah,
Something
they
made
had
us
Vlasic
laugh.
dill holes.
Yeah.
They were whole dill pickles, but they were called dill holes.
Like it was the marketing guy's last day or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I ain't getting fired for this shit. But dill holes, sign it. Fuck you. I'm gonna go work for the guys that make ketchup. Not Heinz, but the other one. I'm gonna work for Hunt's. They must
Oh
be
my
the
God.
saddest people, the Hunt's ketchup people. No,
Yeah.
okay, anyway.
Nobody ever requests Hunts.
It's
How weird would that be? If you were at a restaurant, you'd be like, "Excuse me, could I have a Pepsi and some Hunts?"
you know how well I was just gonna say, it's fucked up when people go to a restaurant and the waitress always says, or server, excuse me, they could be either gender. I don't know. When the server says, we have Pepsi, is that okay?
Is that okay? No, and you know it's not okay. That's why you're asking if it's okay, because it's so not okay. Nobody
I
ever
like
wants
It's
Pepsi.
okay with me. I can't drink any more of it, but I can't have a Pepsi Blue. I can't.
You like Pepsi better than Coke, right? So like you would have been like, "Oh, it's okay, all right."
Is it better? Do you have Pepsi? Imagine if they said, if you order
Sorry,
a Coke,
all we
they
have
go,
is Pepsi Blue.
all we have is Pepsi Blue.
Is that
I'd
okay?
be like, marry me. I don't. No. Or would you like anything else with your Pepsi Blue? Yeah, a job application.
Sir, you can order the Pepsi Blue, not while you're down on one knee.
you can order without tears of joy. Okay, so now
Sir, stop crying. I also have Pepsi Mango.
Ugh, gross. That's stupid. Give me the Pepsi Blue.
Pepsi Blue and a side of Hunts. That'd be weird. That'd be weird if they did that with ketchup too. It's like, I'll have some fries, and they're like, "Oh, we have Hunts. Is that okay?" And you're like, "Why? Why would you have Hunts?"
I wouldn't even notice, but just don't tell me.
Yeah, don't tell me. Just
Okay, now that we've tracked
squeeze the
by
little
way,
Hunts packets into one big Heinz jar, and we're good.
Okay, today's episode is brought to you by Hunt's Ketchup.
And
Hunt's,
Pepsi Blue.
it's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right. But
Like the
Okay.
Hydrox ketchup.
I remember those were very good. They got a bad rep. Okay, are we ready for Jurassic Park?
Jurassic Park 1.
Jurassic Park 1, 1993, colossal blockbuster. We don't get into the 90s too often, but here we go. Jesse Egan, here is a synopsis and then review of Jurassic Park. Boom. Nobody wants to have babies with Laura Dern. So we start off, there's an employee on an island at an adventure park of some kind, and he dies. And then we see Newman from Seinfeld. He's got a special thing of shaving cream. And then he meets a lawyer there, and nobody cares that they're eating there. And then we go to Montana, and Laura Dern doesn't have purple hair yet, so she's wondering, she's digging through the dirt with this other guy, and they're wondering when they're going to find her purple hair so she can yell at the guys in Star Wars. And they're all very upset. And then there's a child who says that, I forgot what they found. They found fossils or something, I forget. And the child is like, that doesn't look scary. And then the main guy, who's supposed to be the smart doctor guy, has a claw from an animal and talks about cutting the kid's belly open, and everybody laughs. And then this old guy who looks like the KFC guy flies in. That's one of my jokes. I just thought about that now. Huh? This old guy flies in and he's like, hey, I got this part. There's some stuff on it. It's not interesting. I'll give you a bunch of millions of dollars to fly over to the island. And everyone will have a good time, but I need your approval because of the insurance and the lawyer. And they say, okay, but first we need Jeff Goldblum. And Jeff Goldblum shows up, and he's running from flies, and he's making memes, and he's like snarling, and then Laura, and it's supposed to be funny, and it's creepy, and he's hitting on Laura Dern in front of Dr. Allen, who have this relationship where we don't know if they're friends, co-workers, or romantically involved throughout the entire movie, and that doesn't make any goddamn sense at all. But Laura Dern has this obsession with Dr. Allen not wanting kids, and they're both paleontologists, so that's fun. I don't know if they study some old things, and she wants him to have kids, and he's uncomfortable around kids, and he doesn't like it, so she keeps laughing at him. And Jeff Goldblum is snarling, and he's teaching her about dropping water on her hand, and then the water goes to a different place, and she finds that amusing somehow, and he's just all kinds of creepy and inappropriate, and everyone just laughs. And then the KFC guy says, hey, here's my big fucking island, and I want you to see some stuff. And they get on the island, and they see some stuff. And then they go through like the chairs, kind of like maybe Disneyland or California Adventureland has in their 4D chairs. They sit in there and they get out of the ride, and they bother these scientists who are making some things. And they're like, hey, scientists, Dr. Allen doesn't want to have babies with me or something like that. And they're like, that's kind of weird. Anyway, we study DNA. And he's like, well, he doesn't want to have babies. That's related. And it wasn't related at all. And then, so finally they meet KFC. They meet the colonel of KFC, his grandchildren. So the colonel of KFC has two developmentally disabled grandchildren. And he puts them with Dr. Allen and Laura Dern and Jeff Goldblum and a lawyer in these green and red cars, and they go through some tracks, and there's like this big island, and there's like tall trees and bullshit.
Was there any expense that was spared?
No.
Okay.
None of the expenses. Yeah, I was gonna say no expense at all. Okay. So, and he's got the doctors and Jeff Goldblum, who's a chaos chaosician. I don't know what the hell his job was. He explains it twice in the movie.
Yeah.
No one knows what it is. And she has to play ditzy because it's 1993, so they're still not in full like women's lib movement yet. So she has to be like, that's over my head. I don't know what the hell. But she's also a doctor. Yeah, so like, why does she have to act stupid? Like, his job's stupid. She digs in the dirt looking for purple hairspray. She has a job. I don't know what Jeff Goldblum does except make sexy memes. So then they go, and there's these two kids, and they're a little slow. I hate to, I'm not making fun. I'm just saying they need special attention. The kids are a little daft, and the lawyer doesn't like them because the lawyers are all bad people. And then the lawyer dies on a toilet during a storm. And then what's up? Oh,
that's him over here, right? Yeah.
On the other side. Try
okay.
again.
One of the sides.
That's one of your. Yeah, you're right. You're right. My left. Yes.
He gets eaten on the toilet.
He's on a toilet, and he wasn't even pooping. He was just sitting on the toilet, running from something. I forget, something scary at him. And then he dies. And then Newman from Seinfeld, he's mad at Jerry, and he knows Jerry has an investment in the park, so he shuts down all the security systems because he's a computer hacker, which they keep saying, and it's very, very funny. And then Nick Fury is there, and he can't stop smoking cigarettes. He's got a serious problem. And the colonel of KFC doesn't mind Nick Fury smoking indoors, which is so early 90s. And Newman runs away pretending he's going to eat snacks because he has a weight problem. So they believe him naturally because it's the 90s. And then he goes outside and he tries to give the evil Barbasol shaving cream to some guy, but then he crashes the car, and then somehow he died. And then the Dr. Allen keeps having, what's that? I don't get it. Whatever. Yeah, he made that face. That's a face Newman made. He went like, Jerry, and then he died. He had a heart attack. And then the kids get in trouble. One of the cars falls into a tree, and then Dr. Allen has to keep saving the kids, and Laura Dern sticks her hand in a bunch of poop, and then they help a sick thing or something in the island, And then she's watching Dr. Allen slowly, involuntarily become fatherly to these two developmentally disabled children, which is very kind, and you have to have a lot of patience. So eventually they get the kids out of danger because the rascally kids are always in danger. And Samuel Jackson, his arm gets cut off in an accident of some kind, and then Newman didn't live, and I guess Samuel Jackson. I don't know if severed hand had a cigarette in it, but it should have. I don't think it did because he was doing it
still hanging off his lip. Like,
no, totally. We didn't see it. We just saw his arm, and he's the only African American person there. So that's how we know it's him. And well, I mean, it was his arm anyway. And so she's terrified at that. And then so the kids are are in danger once again inside the museum part of the park. And Jeff Goldblum broke his leg somehow. And the KFC guy was starting to have regrets, and the lawyer died on a toilet. And then
he eats a lot of ice cream.
Eats a lot of ice cream. That's right. He's eating a ton of ice cream. And then right as Dr. Allen is starting to realize it's not so bad taking care of developmentally disabled children, and Laura Dern is thinking about her purple hair, and Jeff Goldblum is thinking about sexy memes, and the KFC guy is thinking about chicken that's not entirely chicken. That's what the scientists were probably doing there. They were trying to make like fake chicken, and the lawyer's dead. DNA stuff. So the whole thing comes to a big dramatic climax about childbirth and deciding to have babies. And then a T-Rex saves everybody.
Laura Dern gives birth to it, right?
Yeah, Laura Dern gives birth to a velociraptor, which spawns other raptors. And before those raptors eat the children, Tyrannosaurus Rex breaks into this drama about having children at a certain stage in your life and roars. And then we hit the credits, and that was Jurassic Park.
Amazing film. I personally love the movie. I think it's the best of the Jurassics. I prefer it even to the Jurassic Worlds with Star-Lord. But what I think about the movie is immaterial, because we're here to hear your review. We appreciate this synopsis, but if you could give us a quick, maybe one sentence review of Jurassic Park 1, what would you say?
I don't usually do dramas about people, doctors, and do we have babies, do we not want to have babies, and chaos and numbers and math and chicken and toilets and lawyers. I don't usually do serious like adult dramas like that. And the surprise dinosaur at the end, it kind of threw me for a loop, to be honest with you.
Nobody saw that coming.
I didn't see a T-Rex showing up at the end or velociraptors. I'm like, where the hell did this come from?
Yeah,
because I was really captivated by the stuff about Laura Dern laughing about Dr. Allen having to be near developmentally disabled children. So with all those things considering, especially because it's not my type of film.
Yeah.
Okay. And the advances it made with using animatronics combined with CGI that we pretend look good. My one statement, if I could just sum it all up, arguably the greatest film ever made.
He broke me early on that one. That's a good review, Bob. It's so rare to hear such superlative exclamations about a movie. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should rush out to the year 1993 and watch Jurassic Park 1 for the first time. I think you'll enjoy it. And
it's one of those cult classics that a lot of people haven't seen, but if you get it on Laserdisc or the Unix system, which they made a big deal about, or CD-ROM, you can definitely, or it's just free on HBO Max right now. You can just watch, or you probably had a DVD and saw it 80 times already. But yeah, you can just watch that and just experience the magic of this. Does he or does he not want to have kids? Melodrama. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And why is she so obsessed with it? Well, maybe we'll never know, but if you watch it again, maybe we'll get some insights. So check it out. Thank you so much for that, Bob. That was an excellent synopsis and review. And I think that brings us to the end of the podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and watchers, especially those in Ireland and Rhode Island, for supporting the podcast. I've been Jesse Egan. You can find me at Jesse Egan Comedy on all social media and Venmo. Bob, where can people find you?
At home. I don't go anywhere. No, go to the YouTube channel. The Bob Squad YouTube channel is named after the people who watch it. My name is not Bob Squad, even though some other people in chats now do think my name is Bob Squad, I think. Yes, that's where you see the fun boxings. The Masters of the Universe Sun Bob is probably coming out next weekend, I hope. I'm so excited. My 40-minute movie about my answer to Kevin Smith doing a shitty job because all he knows how to do is talk at the end of a film after not talking, but he has to have the most important word and say the thing that's important and ruin the name Bob in the process. And the hardest part of doing wrestling podcasts, find me at a Bob Squad on YouTube and at Bob Hansen Jokes on Twitter and Instagram. But most importantly, two things. You want to find us, you go to Twitter, you find at Beachtown Comedy. You find us here, subscribe on YouTube, hit like and subscribe. I guess it helps the algorithms. It probably doesn't. They say that, but really you just need like a big corporation behind you to steal people's information. But anyway, find us like us on YouTube at Beachtown Comedy Podcast. That's where you find us. Automatic as well. But also, if you're in San Diego, if you are a real Beachtownian, if you're a basic beach, if you're a son of a beach, and you just can't unwind. If you're like me and you get heated, you just feel hot under the collar and you can't cool down and you want to treat yourself to some just desserts, beats me. Where do we go, Jesse Egan?
We go to the Pacific Beach Ice Cream Company at 1010 Grand Avenue in Pacific Beach with our buddy David J.W. Creamery Wright, who's got his own ice cream shop there with the best flavors on earth, homemade, handmade ice cream, including mint chip that will blow your effing mind out.
Not to mention delicious lemon Italian water ice and so many flavors. Every time I'm in there, there's people in there raving about the thing they had last week, and their mind is blown, and now they're trying a new thing that blows their mind. And DW himself will most likely be there, and he'll tell you the process of how he makes it, which I love. It cracks me up every time when he's not talking to me. It's my favorite thing.
He's great.
Definitely go to Pacific Beach Ice Cream Co., 1010 Grand Avenue, corner of Grand Cas, a few blocks from the ocean, San Diego, Pacific Beach, 92109.
They have parking.
They have parking, and they have product, and they have pleasure.
And right next door, they have a massage parlor that last night when we were at dinner, Anna asked me what was the name of it, and I said, I believe it is called Sucky Sucky Fucktown.
Right. Well, you know what it is. They jerk you off.
So if you want something to go with a delicious, tasty ice cream or water ice, go check out Sucky Sucky Fucktown at 1010 or 1011 Grand, right next to Dave's Water Ice Palace, Pacific Beach Ice Cream Company.
All right, and I believe that is a wrap. We thank you all.
I wonder if Sucky Sucky Fucktown isn't going to be an official sponsor eventually.
That was going to be the thing I said at the last minute and then hit stop recording. I was going to say Sucky Sucky Fucktown.
Oh, you were? Okay. Let's pretend.
Okay. No, I'm not going to cut it. No, I'm not going to
do it anyway.
This is funnier that we see behind the curtain of how I insist on being this ultimately stupid. All right. Thank you, everyone. Laura Dern wants you to have babies.